time coming out. We've gotta stop what we're doing now. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings. Oh, but now that your cover's blown, you act up, but you're fragile as a stone. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings now.
So today we thought we'd do a bit of a B&M sort of review haul on a load of toys. So we brought quite a few sort of toys from there before. Some have lasted a long time and others aren't as much. So we thought we'd sort of share our experiences. We're going to obviously rate them out of sort of 10. So how much we first like them just by looking at them. Secondly, how durable they are. So we're going to test out with Max later, take them somewhere, see how strong they are, play a bit of tug of war. And then I think we're doing an overall sort of out of 10. We have got 10 toys to do, so we'll have a first place to sort of 10th place. But yeah, carry on watching to see our reviews. So the first toy on our list is a Nerf feeder. So it was £2.49 from B&M. Don't think that's too bad, so we're going to try and feed little treats later, see if Max plays with it. He's not normally a big fan of these sort of toys. He might prefer just playing catch with it, but we'll find out. So the next toy on our list are Crazy Balls. So they were £2.99. They're fuzzy, they've got cute little faces on them, and they also squeak as well. We've also got a treat snake. So this one was £2.99. It's pretty long, and on the back you can open it up and put treats inside. So again, don't know how much he's gonna love it. Your dog may like it, but we'll find out if Max likes it. Might have to buy some sort of peanut butter to try at some point, but we'll try his normal sort of treats and see how well it goes. We also got a ball and a rope for him. So this one is £1.49. It's not too bad of a ball at the end. I'm not too sure on the rope yet. I don't know how well it's going to last in the water. But we will test it later. We'll find somewhere that's got some water so we can sort of test it out. But yeah, another Nerf toy, why not? So £3.49. It's like a rugby ball sort of shape. Squeaks again. But yeah, so he should like this one. We will see if once it's thrown in the water whether or not it will still squeak or not. But yeah, so this cute little guy was only £2.99. So Max doesn't really have his own duck toys. My mum's dogs have got duck toys and he loves them around there, so we thought we'd get him his own one. Rather than squeaking, if I can make any noises, hold on. Okay, well I give up, try and make noises with it, but it's meant to quack. Hopefully Max can try and sort of figure it out later. Chris figured it out. So I know it's all over now, but it was quite a big thing not long ago. Game of Thrones. So B&M has brought out Game of Thrones toys, so I thought I'd get some dragon eggs. So originally they were £3.99, but because it's now over, it was only £2. So I don't mind if he breaks this one as much. The texture's not too bad, it's like a canvasy sort of material. Again, I'm not too sure on the rope. It does feel better than the other one, but we will find out how well this one sort of lasts. So we thought we'd go for one more Nerf toy. Gone for the Crunch Ball. So this one was £3.99. I believe you can get some which squeak. We thought we'd get a different sort of ball for him for a change. So this one makes a little crunchy noise, like toys you get for like a baby. So I'm hoping the texture it is, like a canvas material inside, like a silicone on the outside. Hopefully it should be pretty good in the water. But again, we will find out. It does state on the front, if you can see down here, it's not suitable for little dogs, but it is for medium and large. Probably good size, but we might find some little dogs later on to test it out. So one toy we've never really brought Max before is a frisbee. So he's always been really into balls, so we never really thought of the need to buy a frisbee. But this one's only $1.99, so I thought I'd give it a test out. It's plastic all around it and on the back. And then it is like a silicone sort of teething material. So we'll see if he'll catch it. He might just end up getting it hit in his face without him catching. There's like quite a few times with balls sometimes in treats. But hopefully if we say catch enough times, he'll get the idea. And last but not least, the last one we're going to be looking at. So they had a few designs, like a shrimp, I can't remember the other one was, and a big shark. So we have got a really big shark toy. So the head squeaks, you've got 4 little ones in the middle, and then lastly you've got one right at the end, which is more high pitch. So it is absolutely massive, and it was only $3.99, which isn't too bad. It is, again, it's got a baby sort of noises on the sides. It is all material. There is no sort of plastic, sort of silicone. So don't know how it's going to last a tug of war, but carry on watching so you can find out.
Running, and out again. Running, and out again. You stay gone, you stay back. I've gotta get you,
So we started using the frisbee. Max seems to be enjoying it, but it's not really throwing as well as we thought it would.
get you out my head now. You stay gone, you stay back. And you were wrong, you know that. I've gotta get you out my head now. You stay gone, you stay back. Kieran always hears the sound of sirens. He says he hopes one day he's lost at sea. The water's up to his neck, it's so damn cold you can see his breath, and visions of Virginia in the deep. He's running and out again. Running and out again. You stay gone, you stay back. I've gotta get you out my head now. You stay gone, you stay back. And you were wrong, you know that. I've gotta get you out my head now. You stay gone, you stay back. He's running and out again. Running and out again. You stay gone, you stay back. I've gotta get you out my head now. You stay gone, you stay back.
But we started testing quite a few toys. He really loved his frisbee, but we took it in the water. It floated. I was very proud it floated. But then Max forgot to go fetch it, and it's now gone downstream. So we're now trying to follow the river a bit further down to the area we can go in to try and find his frisbee, because that was one of his favourites so far we tested. But we have just tested out the fuzzy ball. He's loving it. It squeaks so much when he's running. We've also tested out a few of the other ones in the water. So we tried the ball and the rope, the one I wasn't really too sure on. We tried playing tug of war with him. He didn't want to touch the ball for some reason. He didn't touch the rope. So I don't know if he knows it's weak. But so far it's been alright. It's sort of We've held the water, it's floated as well. We've also tested out the Nerf Crunch in the water. Again, floats, good. And we tested out the Nerf squeaky rugby toy. Chucked that in the water, got it back out, and it's still squeaking. So we'll see later on with how much water it can take before it actually stops squeaking. But hopefully it'll be okay. We'll test out sort of more of the softer toys in a moment, because we aren't really too fond of putting those in the water, sort of due to it just soaking up. But yeah, carry on watching.
And you were wrong, you know that.
So we're now trying to search for the frisbee. It's either stuck up there where sort of Chris is looking, or it could be all the way down there. We don't really know where it could be yet, so we're gonna have a little look. It is red and black, it shouldn't be too hard to find. But yeah, wish us luck.
Gotta get you out my head now. You stay gone, you stay back.
See, this dog will play with it, Max. Why don't you play with it?
He was apathetic in desire, but you held on. He thought the passion was so out of fashion, well, he thought wrong. Then you came calling for me, and we had fun. One night into 2 nights, or whenever you'd fight, I'd find you back for more. This has been a long time coming out. We've gotta stop what we're doing now. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings. Oh, but now that your cover's blown, you act hurt, but you're fragile as a stone. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings now. Now all your clothes were strewn across my floor. He took you to Paris, and out on the terrace he said he wanted more. You took his tedious heart and you said yes. So damn considered, you think you're a winner, but you're a perfect mess. This has been a long time coming out. We've gotta stop.
So while testing out the toys, look what we found. Squeaks as well.
We're doing now. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings. Oh, but now that your cover's blown, you act hurt, but you're fragile as a stone. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings now.
Back in B&M, we couldn't find his frisbee, so we're now getting him the last one, pink and orange. Even though he's a boy, I'm sure he'll still play with it. So Max wasn't really too fond of playing with more of his sort of cuddly toys near the water earlier, so we decided to come to a little forest not far from where we're staying. Max is just chilling, not really doing that. He's just wondering what we're doing here by the benches, but hopefully we'll get him to actually play with his cuddly toys in a moment.
This has been a long time coming out.
So Max is playing with his pheasant. He decided to come out of the bench circle and walk a bit further down. So he's giving us his little pheasant, which he's starting to like. But he's just running around. Now he's not going to do it. But he was running around playing with it.
Stop what we're doing now. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm but now that your cover's blown, you act up, but you're fragile as a stone. Don't know what I was thinking. I think I'm catching feelings now.
So it turns out the Nerf Crunchy Ball also squeaks, which we found out with quite a few of the toys so far. We didn't realise they squeaked, and Max has found a squeaker in them.
Elvis has left the building. Your secret lover and another drinks it at the end of the bar. You smile like the one in a film.
So we've just chucked near enough all of the toys into the middle centre, and he's chose the cheapest one. So he's currently playing with the ball on the rope, which I thought was going to break.
Ultraviolet eyes and silence, get him in the back of your car. You spend years running.
So we've just done our order, well, Max's order of favourite toys. So we've done it in a way that what ones he most played with out of the rest. So we've started off, get down, with the red Nerf toy. He liked that because it was a chucking toy rather than more of a cuddly toy. It could also go in the water, and it was still squeaking afterwards, which is pretty good. The second one, surprisingly, he loved the cheap one. So Chris has tested the cheap one out. He's tried pulling it, and it still stayed in there. He's also done a few sort of tests. We've chucked it in the water. It floated. But I think Max is like it's quite easy to sort of squish the ball. There's no squeaker though, so I am quite surprised that he liked this one. The next one on the list was the squeaky ball, the little fluffy face. So he's always had balls anyway. It's always been his favourite toy. He's never really had a fluffy one before, but he did quite like it, so that's the third one on his list. Fourth one was the Nerf Crunch. So again, we were surprised it had a squeaker in it. He quite likes it. Again, it was really good in the water. As you can see, he is squeaking the Nerf boy in the background. But yeah, this one's pretty good. Again, it has the two textures. Even though it's quite a large ball, where it can squish quite easily, I think he's found it quite easy to hold. The next one down was the pheasant. I called it a duck earlier, so I do apologise. The pheasant. So in regarding the pheasant, as I said, my mum's dogs have got one, so he doesn't like playing with it. He wouldn't play with it near the water. It doesn't chuck very well, but he did play with it sort of now, as he was running around quite a bit, so that's fine. The next one down was the frisbee. So we did have to get a replacement one. So this one is no longer blue and red, it is now pink and orange. So Max gets called a go a lot. This is not going to help his case. But no, he did like it. He was able to chuck it. It flew okay-ish. It made a big enough sort of distance. And then it gets about halfway and it sort of turns and it rolls on the floor. So the rolling helped it get a bit further away. Again, it was light, so it just float down. That's how he lost it, floating down the river. The one which is next is the shark. So originally he wasn't really a big fan of it. We've now taken it to the woods, and it is now covered in mud where he's running around with it. I think he's now realised there's so many squeakers, it's easy for him to play with it. Then this one, as number 8, was the Nerf treat dispenser. So Max isn't very good at normally getting sort of treats out, so we haven't bothered trying it with the treat because he always gets bored of it. So I've been using it as more of a ball. So he likes it. It was quite tough. He was able to catch it. But I think where it's quite hard to like squish it. He lost interest quite a lot. What I was surprised about was when it came in 9th place. So he would fetch it. It didn't fly very far because it is so light. It has got squeakers, but it's so quiet. Like it was quite a bit of an effort for him to squeak it. But we were able to get Labradors to play with it. We've had about 2 or 3 Labradors on our walk, and they were happy to play tug of war with me. Max, on the other hand, didn't really want to do that. And then in the last place was the snake. So again, in regarding sort of the treats, at one point we will probably try sort of dog peanut butter in it. But again, he wasn't that much of a fuss of it. He's not too bad with sticks, so I was hoping he'd think of the stick. But again, it's quite light, so it didn't fly the best. But the head has got a squeaker, which is quite loud. So once he realised there was a squeaker in it, he was squeaking by the head, but otherwise he wasn't that bothered. So it turns out the red and blue frisbee we had, I think it was like a dud one. The pink and orange actually flies. So I take back what I said about the frisbee. I think it's touch and go on which one you pick up. But Max seems to be quite sort of happy with the pink one. He's now playing tug of war of it. But yes.
What this is for?
So that's our top 10, obviously all picked out in sort of Max's eyes. Out of all of them, I think the most durable is probably the frisbee, because they're still playing tug of war right now and it's very grippy for them. We've also got sort of quite a durable one, was that Nerf rugby ball. So they're probably the overall top 2. In regards to sort of when we first saw them, I thought the pheasant was going to be more of a bigger hit, and I also thought the fuzzy sort of tennis balls were going to be as well, which they did score quite high. But after sort of testing them out, Max has definitely picked his favourite, and as you can tell, they are still playing with the frisbee. So I think out of May, slightly bit moved up a little bit in the sort of in the order, but overall I'd definitely say that the Nerf rugby ball was definitely the best one. Again, like I said, it's rubber, it's really resistant. It did well in sort of both fields, forest, and sort of the water, and it does still squeak because Max is like a squeaky toy. Again, he can play that inside, while more of the outside toy, I think, is the frisbee. So in regarding the frisbee, we're gonna give it 8 out of 10. I think if the first one worked, it would have been a lot higher. So with the Nerf rugby ball, we're gonna go for a 9 out of 10. I think the squeak is loud enough, it chucks well, and he loves it. I think it could have been sort of slightly bigger, but I think that's a personal preference really. So in regard to this one, which is all muddy and gross now, we're gonna go for a 6 out of 10. Price-wise, really good compared to the other sort of rope toys you can get. The only sort of downfall is the rope. It is starting to come apart slightly where it has got wet. In regard to the ball material, it is quite thin. Max doesn't really chew a lot, but other dogs may probably get through us quite easily. I think a squeaker would have like finished it off as well. So in regarding the funky little balls, we have gone for a 7 out of 10. Underneath, the ball does seem really strong, and it has got a squeaker, and they do get 2 in the pack. The only sort of downfalls is also the material. In the water, it's probably not going to last very long. And again, I feel like a stronger dog could probably rip that cover off as well. But it has got a cute face, so we'll give it that. In regarding the Nerf ball crunch, we have gone for 8 out of 10. Again, it's a good sized ball, it does squish down. We were surprised when it was obviously squeaky inside as well as crunchy. So Max, if you can see him behind the trees, is hiding his frisbee from us. So in regard to the ball again, for a tougher dog, as you can see, it's not the thickest. So I think obviously a tougher dog could probably break through it. But for Max, it was really good. Again, size is good. I think maybe slightly smaller in regarding it would have been better. But no, overall though, I think it's quite a fun toy for him, especially playing the water for him as well. So in regarding the pheasant, we personally have gone for 4 out of 10. It is just a soft toy, so a dog is going to get all the stuffing out of it. But the plus side is it has got a cute little sort of like duck sort of noise to it. So in regards to that, Max loves it. Again, he will only play with it in a smaller area. If there's water around, he ain't going to touch it. So we decided to do the treat dispenser ones together. So for the snake, I'm going to go for a 6 out of 10. So this is based on it being a treat dispenser rather than being a sort of fun toy. Reason because it is a long one. Not a lot of treat dispensers are this long, so you can see from the Nerf one, for example. This one has also got the squeaker. Again, the Nerf one doesn't have a squeaker in it. But the only sort of downfall to it, the material is a lot weaker than the Nerf one. So we're going to go for a 6 out of 10 for the snake because overall it's more practical. For the Nerf one, we thought more of a 4 out of 10. Again, Max loved playing with it, but compared to the rest of the toys, it wasn't as high up. So, almost done. This one, for the shark, we are rating 7 out of 10. So, reason for that, it is a very long toy. We've also found that there was about 6 squeakers in it, which they all had sort of different sort of frequencies. They have got a baby sort of toy material on the side. The only reason we haven't gone sort of higher is because when it's a soft toy, more tougher dogs are going to break through that. And last but not least, the Game of Thrones toy. So we've actually given this one the lowest score. So we've given it a 3 out of 10. Reason for it, Max was not bothered. Labradors, they loved it. If Max was a Labrador, it might have been a higher score. But in regarding sort of the toy, the rope, again, it isn't as strong as other sort of rope toys. Max is not bothered by it at all. The squeakers, they're so quiet, he doesn't really squeak that much. Max really had to press on it. It was a tougher material than some sort of soft toys, but for that reason, we've had to give it such a low score. So, thanks for watching our video today. Hopefully it gave you sort of an insight of what sort of toys B&M do in our sort of personal racings with Max. But also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. I'd really practice that word. Don't forget to like the video. But we'll see you next week. Bye. Say bye, Max.